What is going on, everyone? Sunny Deeker here. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the Segwitx2 hard fork, which will eventually go down in November. I'm not going too deep into the technology. I rather focus on giving the average person an idea about what's exactly going on. Before we're gonna start, it would be very appreciated if you would hit that subscribe button and also turn on post notifications. And now enjoy the video. So let's start at the beginning. Bitcoin is a decentralized cryptocurrency. So that means there is no company who owns all the Bitcoins. Basically, all the Bitcoins belong to the community. Of course, that is cool, revolutionary, and fancy, but there are actually some issues with that. The Bitcoin code is open source. So here again, there is not one company who decides, are we going to do an update or not? The community has to decide that, but that is not always easy. If a community member, most of the times so-called work groups, if they have an improvement, if they see something they could do significantly better, or if there is an actual problem, what they can do is they can write a BIP, a so-called Bitcoin improvement proposal. That proposal is getting reviewed by the community then, and then the community decides, all right, are we going to do that, or is that not a good idea at all? Maybe you are asking yourself, well, are there even any problems with Bitcoin? I heard that Bitcoin is perfect, but that is not true at all. There are actually issues Bitcoin has yet to face, and if they're not getting handled perfectly, it could actually escalate as well. If we have a look at this chart, which shows us the unconfirmed transaction count, you can see that before segregated witness was actually activated and working, we had a huge amount of unconfirmed transactions. The reason for that is there's only a certain amount of transactions which fits into one block, and it will always take round about 10 minutes to find one block. So there is actually a limit. Segregated witness segregated some information in that block to have more space. So as soon as more blocks were mined, those unconfirmed transactions went back and the situation seems to be okay right now. The problem with that is that Bitcoin is getting bigger every single day, and the whole segregated witness update makes the situation actually better, but we will get to the same point again. Now, whenever a community or different parties are discussing one problem, there are always going to be different solutions. And even though if you come up with the best solution ever, there will be some people out there who are not going to like your proposal. And this is exactly the point where we are heading to a hard fork. This news over here from September the 27th, 2017 is a good example for this. Basically, there is a small little group who want to do something else like Bitcoin Cash. They want to fork off the main Bitcoin chain to do their own coin, pretty much, their own Bitcoin. This statement over here is actually pretty interesting. Organisms derive benefits from creating offspring. With Bitcoin Gold, we're conducting an experiment to see if that principle holds true in the world of blockchains. At this point, it would be very nice if you could write down your opinion to this statement. What do you think? Are all these hard forks at the end going to improve the whole cryptocurrency market? Now let's talk about such a split of the blockchain. Let's assume this is me and this is you. We're both working in a company where we have a general ledger. We're working with this ledger the exact same way. You know how you have to work with it, and I know how to work with it. At some day, we have a problem. The details over here is too big, and we don't want to have the details in here anymore. So what are we gonna do? Well, your proposal is to remove the details at the end of the spreadsheet. But I'm like, well, no, I really don't agree with that. I don't think that's a good idea. Then we have the details at the end of the spreadsheet. Well, no one can see it over there. I rather would remove it completely. Well, at this point, we're not really getting to a consensus. You are like, no, I want to have it at the end. And I'm like, no, I don't want to have it at all. We are just not coming to a consensus. So basically, this is what happens. We both take the exact same ledger with all the information in it. We're not going to change that information. But from now on, you are going to work your way and I am going to work my way. And that is exactly what happens with the miners. We have the exact same past, but from one day on, and that will be the hard fork day, one group is doing it that way and the other group is doing it that way. And that is pretty much what a hard fork is. Bitcoin Cash is actually one of the best examples to show this. The Bitcoin Cash people, well, basically they were just recommending 8 megabyte block sizes. The majority of the Bitcoin community, they were listening to the core developers, and it's not in the idea and in the interest of the core developers at all to just increase the block size. What they're saying is that that is not the right way to solve this whole scaling issue. Because if you're going to make the blocks bigger today, well, in 1 year, we're going to have the same problem again. And then we just have to increase the block size again, and again. So we're not really getting anywhere with this. What they agree to, and what almost the whole Bitcoin community agreed to, is that segregated witness we were just talking about. So on the real current Bitcoin, we actually still have a 1 megabyte block size and an 8 megabyte block size on Bitcoin Cash. Those are two coins because of that hard fork. If most of the miners support one coin, there's actually not really a big problem. It is getting very problematic if 50% of the miner would have gone to Bitcoin Cash and 50% of the miner would have stayed. On Bitcoin Cash, that didn't happen, but what happened is that miners are toggling forwards and backwards with mining Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash. The thing is that, for example, on August the 19th, 2017, mining Bitcoin Cash was way more profitable than mining Bitcoin. Since you need the exact same hardware for mining Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash, what miners did is they were just starting Bitcoin Cash. They got the Bitcoin Cash mining update and they were just running their hardware to mine Bitcoin Cash at that point. What happened after a certain amount of blocks, the difficulty of mining Bitcoin Cash is getting adjusted because there is way more hash power, and then the profitability of Bitcoin Cash mining just dropped back. At that point, a lot of miners left again to mine Bitcoin. So after the next difficulty adjustment, mining Bitcoin Cash was actually more profitable again. So you can see that economically, there's a lot going on. And for those people who are interested in models like that, you should definitely do your research about game theory. Because with game theory, you can describe perfectly what's going on right now with mathematical terms. So basically in our company, the people have to make a decision right now. Do they want to work with your system or do they want to work with my system? Well, it would be not that hard for us to figure out which is the better way after the tests. But in the Bitcoin network, this is a little bit different. Basically, the BIP for Segwitx2 requires 80% acceptance. Otherwise, 2x is not gonna happen. That is clear right now, and something like that has to be clarified in the BIP itself. So as we speak right now, it does look very good that Segwitx2 is gonna make it, but you never know. Probably a lot of you guys are very interested right now what's gonna happen with the price. Well, we don't know. No one knows. But we can go back in time and check the pattern, what happened before the Bitcoin Cash hard fork, which went down on the 1st of August 2017. I am personally privileged that I was already in Bitcoin when I was entering that FUD zone before that Bitcoin hard fork. It was not that funny and it won't be again, I can tell you that. There will be so many theories how Bitcoin can go to zero, how the new coin will be better and so on. And there will be fear, uncertainty and doubt in the market. And when there is fear, uncertainty and doubt in the market, typically the market is going bearish, so that means you're going on a downtrend. Nevertheless, the last time we bottomed out at like $1,800 and we shoot back up even before the hard fork actually happened. So let's talk about what you can do to prepare yourself for the upcoming Bitcoin hard fork in November 2017. So here's my number one recommendation, and it's pretty much all you have to know. Make sure that at the date of the hard fork that you have all your private keys. I really do not recommend to save them in a worksheet, for example, on your computer. You should print them out and delete them. If you have your private keys, that gives you access to your Bitcoin anywhere on the planet. And if there's going to be a hard fork and you have your private keys, you will actually get the exact same amount of the new Bitcoin as you have of the old Bitcoin, because that chain is going to get split. But in that first general ledger we saw in the example, in that first one, you are written down as the holder of, let's say, 10 Bitcoin. So in the new system of the red party and also in the new system of the blue party, on both of those, you have 10 Bitcoins. So again, make sure that you are in possession of your private keys. I can show you how that works on Exodus Wallet. You hold down Control Shift plus D. then you go to developer, assets, Bitcoin, and export your private keys. You don't have to do that right now if you don't want to, but you should definitely do it before the hard fork goes down in November if you want to double up your Bitcoin real quick. Yes, there will probably be a new Bitcoin like Litecoin or like Bitcoin Cash, and maybe there will be even more. Who knows? Thank you guys very much for watching this video. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel and also check out my newest video. Bye bye and see you in the next one.